Welcome back to Operation Football Preview. We just wrapped up week 6 of the high school football season here in the Buckeye State. And really these conference races, these league races are kind of starting to take shape. Yeah. We're really starting to see which teams are for real, which teams are emerging, which teams maybe are what we thought they were all along. And we have an exciting week 7 ahead.
Yeah, that's right. It's great to get into this point of the season too. Like you mentioned, I mean, this is really when we're going to see the teams that are emerging as playoff contenders, who can make that run to Canton and try to bring home a state championship, and maybe who's starting to find their footing late too now, which is always good to see. A team that maybe struggled out of the gate, now finding that rhythm, and we get to now kind of see what they can do too. So kind of a lot of continuity throughout all the conferences here in the Miami Valley, and it kind of started in the Swabble with our game of the week and everything that we kind of expected this game to be. It lived up to the billing. We wouldn't have it any other way, of course, for game of the week, but there was so much more special too about the storylines for this game, Kayler.
Yeah, we had a 5-0 Oakwood team coming in who's just had a rough go for the last, I mean, not just 5 years, but really 10, 15, 20 years. First time they've been 5-0 since 2007 coming into this game. And that 2007 season, they went 7-0 to start the year. It's also the most wins. 5 wins was the most they'd had in any season total since 2017.
It's unbelievable.
It was a 5-win season.
Unbelievable. Unprecedented is everything.
I mean, Jay Lane has the boys rowing in the right direction, if you will. But we didn't know if it was because, obviously to some degree, being 5-0 is meritorious no matter what. Right. But we didn't know how they would stack up against some of the bigger teams because they hadn't played a super big challenge yet, and I think they would admit that as well. Until Friday night when they faced off against who has been the class of the Swabble, making deep playoff runs, and that was Valley View. And they came in 4-1. And like you said, we hoped this game would be close. It was kind of a question mark because of what Oakwood has been, what Valley View has been, right. And has Oakwood played enough tough competition to prove that this is who they are now? And by golly, they came out Friday and proved this is exactly who they are. And they could very well be 6-0 right now if just one small 100%. Thing went differently. I mean, this game was as tight as you can get. I'll pull up some of the numbers for you. I mean, these two teams very comparable. Total offense for Oakwood, 326 yards. Total offense for Valley View, 352. Zach Lutz there, you just saw him throw that ball, had 267 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. One of those being right here, that awesome play to stick through that contested catch there. But on the Valley View side, Anthony Valenti all night long. He had 3 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 2 through the air. He was absolutely dominant for the Spartans, and Valley View ended up coming out on top by just a point, 20-19. We're about to get to it in this video, but it just went back and forth all night long, and what it finally came down to was Oakwood drove down the field, scored the touchdown to be down 20-19, and rather than kick the extra point and go for potentially the tie or overtime or allowing Valley View to get the ball back. Right. Here's that touchdown to make it 20-19, and then you'll see the 2-point conversion shortly after. Gutsy call, going for the win, just over his hands. So a game of inches, right? Yeah. We were inches away from Oakwood being 6-0 had Valley View not turned around and marched down the field themselves. But instead, Valley View moves to 5-1. Oakwood falls to 5-1, and this Swabble race is going to be really interesting down the stretch. Yeah, it is. I mean, when you think about too, it's obviously a great story, and talking to Jay Lane at practice too. I mean, he said, obviously they're focused on trying to win and continue to have the success of the season. But I said you have to feel that different energy amongst the players in the community. He said, the community is buzzing with excitement for this football team, something that they haven't been able to look forward to on Friday nights for the last, several years, and really a long time. Almost, I mean, it's 20.
Yeah. I mean, it's been, so anytime, regardless of what happened on Friday night against Valley View, what an exceptional job by Jay Lane, his coaching staff, these players too that obviously have worked extremely hard for a long time to try to get Oakwood kind of back on the map, if you will, as a contender. And and talking to Matt King as well at Valley View's practice, I said, is it hard to not think like, you got to prepare, like any opponent's going to be tough, but knowing like, hey, these guys, this isn't the same Oakwood team as you've seen in years past. And he goes, yeah, it makes it even tougher to know that some of these guys for the Spartans have played against these guys before when they have been really down. It's like, hey, you got to prepare completely different than you would normally, or not let that at least affect you mentally. So,
and to that point, I was in the post-game huddle sort of on the exterior of it, and King said something to that, or maybe one of his assistants, one of them said something to that effect, like, we got a lot to work on tonight. We did a lot wrong tonight. And I think they had so many penalties. That was one of the stats that stood out to me. They had 8 penalties, Valley View did.
Wow.
But to your point, what Matt King said was, or one of his assistants, was that we can't be overlooking opponents. So I think maybe there was a little degree of that even still. I mean, think about it, like, this team that you've played against for all these years, it probably would be hard to shake that feeling.
Right. Thinking they're going to go away, roll over, give up. And that was the other thing, too, that Lane mentioned, too. He said, we've had a bad habit, and obviously this is his second year. He's talking just about the program of maybe just trying to eliminate the thought of predetermining an outcome before the game even starts. Basically saying, Oakwood teams in years past would go into games just going, okay, we know we're going to lose, and let's just try not to lose too badly, or just, whatever. And he's been trying to eliminate that mindset entirely, whether they're taking on Valley View or they're going to face Marion Local. Not that is slated to happen at any time point, but the point being to kind of change the mindset of these kids, of this program, and they've obviously it's worked. They're 5-1. But it is, it's a very, it's a 5-1 to be proud of, especially when you have your toughest team in the schedule so far at this point, and you only lose them by 1 point down to the wire, just falling short on a missed 2-point conversion. So,
but also holding Valley View to so few points as
absolutely.
Well. Like I told you when I was coming back on Friday, I was like, this team looks legit.
Yeah.
Oakwood looked legit on both sides of the ball too. So we're going to look forward to the rest of the year for Oakwood.
Yeah.
They have another tough test this week. And then from there, who knows? And will they get their first playoff berth in however long? We'll have to do some research
on digging
that.
Again.
But yeah, they looked legit. And just knowing what Valley View has been able to do to other teams, and their only loss being a 1-point loss that they scored 48 points in.
Right.
And still lost that game in overtime, to hold them to 19 or to hold them to 20 and lose by a point based on a fingertips lengths away grab.
So
a lot to be proud of.
Yeah. Too good.
I know it's hard to walk away from that and feel good about it, but
yeah. Well,
they should.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this team has shown that they have a higher degree of a competitive edge too. But plenty for Oakwood to, continue to look forward positively on the season. Obviously, every team wants to go undefeated. It's hard to do, especially in our area. There's so many tough teams that you have to face outside of conference, in conference, whatever have you. So, taking a look, as you mentioned, I get a chance to see Oakwood now for the first time in person. So I will get to be at the Oakwood Brookville game, that one at Mac Cummins Stadium at Oakwood, and a Brookville team who is also looking just as dangerous, if not potentially more than Valley View. The last undefeated team in the Southwestern Buckeye League is the Brookville Blue Devils. 49-16 win over Tri-County North, 49-7 win over Springfield Shawnee, 42-15 win over Northridge, 35-7 win over Waynesville, 49-8 over Middletown Madison, and 41-7 win over Carlisle, who Carlisle was 4-1 coming into that game. We had highlights of that one on Operation Football. So maybe the first true toughest test potentially for Brookville as well, and Oakwood, but should be another great matchup. So kind of Oakwood on the other end of this now, right? They're coming in as the team with the one loss, trying to play spoiler to Brookville's undefeated season. So a lot of excitement there for that matchup.
And to put a button on some of this, Zach Lutz for Oakwood is currently leading the league by a margin of 400 yards.
Wow.
Passing. He has 1,350 yards. The next closest is 950.
Yeah, that's
his
impressive.
leading receiver, Michael Wosty, has 588 yards, which leads the league as well. So they are rolling offensively, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So looking at the Swabble too quickly before we take a look at some other conferences, just to kind of update you of where things are at across the Miami Valley. Brookville 3-0 in league play. Valley View 3-0 in league play. There is Oakwood right there in the 2 spot rather, because Brookville and Valley View are tied for first in the Buckeye division of the Swabble. But Brookville, of course, the only undefeated team at 6-0 in the southwestern portion of the Swabble. Bellbrook still 1-0 in league play. They're 3-3 overall. They just had a pretty tight win over Edgewood, 14-10 just last week to get back to 500 after a tough loss to Alter. So Golden Eagles kind of back and forth this year. They have on the road at Franklin.
It should be at full strength finally this week.
Right.
Bellbrook should be.
After
they had some outages
yes.
for an incident.
That's right. Against CJ.
Yeah. So they should be at full strength this
absolutely.
week.
Kind of going to be eyeing that week 9 game, Bellbrook Oakwood. That one at Golden Eagles Place at Miami Valley South Stadium, but that could shape up to be another.
Give me Oakwood.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm a believer.
Hey, you've seen them now, so I'll get my chance. So kind of that's the state of this Swabble as of now. We'll switch it over to taking a look at what's ahead in the GWAC. Wayne still looking like the team to beat. 3-0 in league play, 4-2 overall. They have 3 straight wins, all in GWAC play. They got a big 45-6 win over Northmont, but a good test coming up here. It's Wayne Springfield. This one is
this is for all the
rivalry.
marbles.
Yeah,
this is it.
It should shake out that way.
3-0, right? 2, right?
Yep, that's right. The only other undefeated team in the GWAC is
the
3-0.
This is the GWAC championship.
This is very well the GWAC championship, and it is this week. Wayne hosting Springfield, and we will have that game.
This is the GWAC championship.
Yes. I'm like, of course we have this game.
Yeah, it's there.
I was looking. I'm like, where's Wayne? I'm like, did I not put this on the schedule? Are we not getting the pivot? We got to pivot. No, I mean, this is we've seen this one before. This game can get chippy, I think, as I've told you in years past. So hopefully all the excitement stays on the field and the teams can kind of battle it out without any extracurriculars. But it's just kind of what you get when you get 2 athletic, high-octane teams like this. A lot of emotions in these games in years past. 2024, Wayne won that one 36-6. Last year in 2023, it was they met twice. So Springfield lost to Wayne 27-22 in week 4. And that was the unbelievable game. Greatest high school game I think I've ever been at, that Wayne was kneeing it with 20 seconds to go at the Springfield 8, and Springfield does the swat at the ball to try to get it back. They get it. First play touchdown to take the lead with 14 seconds to go. Wayne takes the kickoff return touchdown back. Game winner in unbelievable fashion. So these ones always shaping up to be exciting. So, yep, we'll have Springfield and Wayne. Beaver Creek, though, coming off a tough 36-0 loss to Centerville. Centerville getting its first win of the year, surprisingly enough. So they're 1-5. But Beaver Creek 3-3 overall and 2-1 in the conference, along with Fairmont, who just beat Miamisburg 38-3. So, big one here in Wayne and Springfield, and that should be an exciting one. And then looking at a couple other games, we'll also have Springboro at Beaver Creek and Northmont at Fairmont. So we'll have Battle of the Monts. We'll have the extent of the GWAC games this week. And then we're also going to be taking a look at a couple more in the Miami Valley League, and that includes our game of the week. This was a thriller last year, Week 10, Xenia Tip. They're going to do it again. Meeting a little earlier this year now here in Week 7. Kind of a bit of a bummer that it's in that slate. But, I was at that game, Kayler, last year, so hopefully this one lives it up for you for this next one. Should be good. We're going to have more on that game of the week coming up and more games here in Week 7 when Operation Football continues. Here the preview after the break.
Welcome back to Operation Football Preview. We're going to round out some of the other storylines from this week 6 before we move on to week 7. One that we actually don't have on here, but I just thought of it as we were coming up. We have to talk about what happened at Marion Local.
Oh, that's right. Absolutely.
Have to. We should have attached the video. We apologize for not, but go look at Joey's social media to see what happened at the end of this Marion Local Versailles game.
Just pull it up on my phone.
Actually, yeah, do that. Show the crowd that
It's
way.
our video.
Make yourself full screen.
Yeah, we'll set up this story here for you. So obviously, Marion Local, everyone knows the OHSA record win streak they have. They were going for 70 on Friday night at
Which is
home.
also leads the nation in
Right.
any active streak.
Longest active streak in the nation, and they were hosting Versailles, a conference foe out of the MAC. Always gritty games, but Marion Local has pretty dominated them handily. Last Marion Local scare was against St. Henry a couple weeks ago. They were down 14-7 at half. Similar boat this time, down 14-7 at half to the Tigers. This one just kind of coming down right to the wire. It's a 4th and 7 for Marion Local in the fourth quarter. Let's see. Not sure how good this is going to come through here. Make myself full. Oh, yeah, you'll be able to see it. All right, final play here. 4th and 7. Deep downfield. And they rule that a catch. Officials talk it over, and they say that is a catch for Marion Local. Here's a slow-mo look. You can see the ball is fully out of the receiver's hands and on the ground. He sells it pretty good, so credit to him for that. But
Here, bring me up. I've got a photo.
oh, yeah. I mean, it's the clock.
Well, that's how long we've been on, if you
There
were
you go.
wondering.
Yep. See?
The ball is nowhere to be found
Yeah.
in the receiver's hands. That was called a catch for Marion Local, and the crucial thing was that it was on 4th down.
Right.
So
And it led to...
This kept the series alive, and it led to another 4th down touchdown that won the game,
Which was the game
for Marion
winner.
Local.
Yeah.
So heartbreaker. We're not here to disparage any team or anything,
Right.
but
It
just a
did decide
heartbreak.
the game.
Heartbreaker. I mean, it's just objectively that was the game, and that's a
Right.
heartbreaking way to go down for Versailles when they had been in control a lot
Right.
of that game. Obviously, it kind of puts an asterisk on Marion Local's streak a little bit. Nobody's
Yeah.
going to remember. I mean, people are going to talk about it, but it's
Yeah.
not going to be.
It was very talked about on social
Right.
media everywhere.
People are going to talk about it for years, but
Yeah.
the streak's going to go on
Yeah.
unless they
They're at
lose
70
this
now.
week. So
They could very well see them again, though, in the playoffs.
it was interesting.
But yeah, that was a wild moment, and it was all over social media, and yeah, it was kind of think, can they get that right? Just for sake of keeping it even. But
Shall we say the joke that I said?
what was that?
The giveaway was that the refs were in shorts.
Oh, it was hot on Friday.
but
it got
every
muggy.
other game ever, the refs
I know
are
they're
in
usually
pants.
in pants. I know.
So
Hey, that's-
we don't want to disparage.
that's
They're out
MAC
there doing their
football.
best, but
yeah,
it's
tough.
unfortunate that that's the way it ended. You don't want to see it end that way.
Yeah, and it wasn't especially, at least to me, it's tough to see that ball. I mean, when you have a handful of officials on the field and it's happening right in front of the line judge or the back judge, whoever it may be. But I'll digress on that, obviously. So
NBL. Let's talk NBL.
yeah, tough loss for Versailles, but the streak continues for Marion Local. Marion Local's got Fort Recovery this week. So taking a look back here, a little closer to town in the Miami Valley League. Tippecanoe still holding strong as one of our other area teams that are still undefeated at 6-0. How about 261 points overall scored, 20 points allowed. It has
Insane.
been 3 shutouts. They're coming off their
62-0 last week.
biggest win of the season over Sydney's.
Cool little.
62-0, just a chill win for the Red Devils.
Yeah.
But right on their heels, still tied for that Miami Valley League top spot right now is their other rival, Troy. The Trojans 5-1 overall, but undefeated in league play after dropping their opener 28-20 to Middletown Madison. So 5 straight wins now in league play. Their most recent coming 35-7 to Stebbins. So tight battle there in the Miami Valley division. or in the Miami division of the MVL, excuse me. We are going to get to see Tip and Troy face off in week 9. Going to be hard to see if that doesn't get game of the week, but we'll have to wait and see. But taking a look in the Valley division, Xenia 4-1 in the league, 5-1 overall. They fell to Troy 24-14 in week 2. Since then, they've won 4 straight. Their most recent 42-21 over Piqua. So why not go across the conferences, or across the divisions rather? And it's another great one. Tippecanoe Xenia setting up our week 7 game of the week, where Kayler's going to be at. And like I mentioned in the first half, I was at that game last year in week 10. It was 9-0 versus 9-0. Obviously, Xenia and Tip had already clinched their respective division titles in the Miami and in the Valley, but this was like an outright bragging rights, outright MVL champs kind of deal, and this game had it all. I mean, it was high scoring right down to the finish, and Tip ended up coming out on top in that one, 35-21, to cap off their perfect season. So, not as seemingly high stakes this time around, but always a chippy battle.
Oh, yeah. We're looking forward to it this Friday. Tippecanoe is going for their 4th consecutive Miami League title. And as we just talked about, they've just been absolutely on a roll this season, which we kind of expected coming in, especially the way that their season ended last year so early in the playoffs when they were expected to make such a deep run. They had a great group coming back between Xavier Melton at running back, who's a senior, Will Strong at receiver, and then their quarterback, Will Larkin. Between the 3 of those, they're either first or second in every respective category of their position. So there's Larkin right there. He leads the entire Miami Valley League with 1,273 passing yards and 16 touchdowns. His number 1 receiver right there, number 1, Will Strong, is the first in the Miami Valley League in all receiving categories. Wow. He has 46 receptions for 798 yards and 10 receiving touchdowns this year. And then Xavier Melton, their running back, is second in multiple of those rushing categories to somebody we might also see on Friday in this game. He has 115.5 yards per game and 13 touchdowns. Both of those, like I said, second in the MVL. So and we talk a lot about the offense because they've been scoring a lot, but not to be overshadowed by their defense that, once again, has allowed 20 points.
It's impressive.
This entire season.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
6 games, 20 points.
What Matt Burbacher has been able to do with this program year in and year out is just special. I mean, these guys are always ready to play. They play their brand of football, and they execute everything almost to perfection. Obviously, it helps when you get returning guys back like Larkin Thomas as your star quarterback, and a guy like Will Strong, but they lost their star player from last year was Jackson Davis. So, Will Strong kind of filling in those shoes as the wide receiver 1, their top playmaker. Thomas always using his feet, always using his legs to make extra plays, extend the plays as well. And then obviously just goes without saying their defense, just stout. So, an exciting matchup too. And then when you take a look at Xenia, very similar in a team of what they've been able to do this year. And ever since suffering that week 2 loss to Troy, they've been on a roll as well. Yep.
They are 5-1 overall, like you mentioned, coming off a 42-21 win over Piqua. Xenia also had success in winning conference or league titles, I guess, if you will. They're in
I know. I was stumbled through earlier.
The Valley Division, where they've won most recently in 2019, 2022, and 2024. So twice in the last 3 years, going for their 3rd in the last 4 years. So that's pretty impressive as well. So these 2 teams, just 2 of the class teams of the entire Miami Valley League. Some noteworthy wins for Xenia. They beat Beaver Creek, who was off to a really good start to their years. We've talked about. They beat Beaver Creek early in the season, 27-18. And then both teams have actually shut out Butler, both Xenia and Tippecanoe. Tip shut out Butler 42-0, but Xenia shut out Butler 20-0. And Butler's been another team that has been strong in the MVL in recent years. So, but Xenia is, of course, led by their ground and pound workhorse, what's it called, a bell cow, Deontay White at running back, and he leads the MVL in every rushing category, every single one of them. 909 yards on the season. That's a whopping 151.5 yards per game and 14 touchdowns. The offense runs around Deontay White.
Yeah, you have to. When you got a guy like that can just tote the rock that well and that provides such a bruising kind of spark every time your offense steps on the field. Pretty sure in the game last year, Deontay had a hat trick, 3 touchdowns in that one. One of several, I think, 3 touchdown games for him last year. One of them being against Butler as well. Last year, he had 2 touchdowns this year against Butler. But I'm just taking a look at this last year, what he did: 33 rushes for 135 yards and 3 touchdowns. Larkin Thomas on the other side was 19 for 26, 170 yards and 2 touchdowns against that Xenia defense. Xavier Melton, big game for him too, 19 rushes, 181 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Xenia defense. So it's so much balance on either side of these two programs.
They also, the 2 coaches love each other. Burbacher and Maurice Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them get along very well, very good friends. Burbacher said today, every week but this one.
No, it's good. It's friendly competition, and you like to see that too. But on the field, you can tell these two teams just kind of bring it when they play each other. It's such high level of football, and we're hoping for kind of the same thing on Friday night. So an exciting Week 7 game of the week on tap. We had a great one in Oakwood Valley View last week, so kind of hoping for another thriller this week. Kind of rounding out the show here, we'll take a look at the other games that we'll have. We'll have Brookville, Oakwood, Springboro, Beaver Creek, Northmont, Fairmont. Elsewhere in the MVL, we're also going to have Troy and Butler. So the Trojans looking to stay undefeated as well as Tip, both kind of setting up hopefully what we would hope would be a undefeated MVL showdown for the league title for the Miami division. So Troy at Butler. We mentioned we'll also have Springfield at Wayne, and then kind of extending our reach kind of as we do, try to get out to some of the little further conferences. We're also going to be getting a pretty exciting Three Rivers game between Lehman Catholic and Miami East. Lehman Catholic 6-0. One of our other undefeated teams. There's only a handful of them left at this point. They're 3-0, of course, in Three Rivers, but right on their heels is Miami East, also 3-0 in the Three Rivers. So kind of another game shaping up even early as it is. And I guess it's not that early. It's Week 6. In Week 7, right? In the conference race, though, because Riverside and Covington are right there at 2-1. But you have to think this is potentially here for the league title. So Miami East coming off a handful of big wins in a row, 41-0 over Bethel, 44-8 over Northridge, and then Lehman Catholic has just dominated everybody. 56-35 over St. John's, 60-0 over Southeastern, 43-24 over Fort Loramie. These are two MAC schools too that they face, by the way. 34-16 over Northridge, 64-6 over Troy Christian, and 44-14 over Milton Union. So an exciting Three Rivers matchup there. We're also going to be in the Central Buckeye Conference for the first time this year. It's Northwestern and Graham facing off. Graham 5-1 overall, 1-0 in CBC play. Northwestern also 1-0 in the Mad River Division. They're 4-2 overall. So a couple exciting matchups elsewhere. Another exciting 8-game slate overall, and hopefully, it's another exciting week here of football in the Miami Valley. Kayler, any last thoughts?
I'm certain it will be. Looking forward to Tip Xenia. We always love going and talking to those 2 coaches. So no matter who comes out on top, it's going to be a fun one.
Absolutely. Be sure to stick with us right here at 2 Sports for all of your coverage of high school football in the Miami Valley. You can join both of us, Kayler Smith, Joey DeBerardino, 10:45 at CW, 11 o'clock. For all the highlights, band and cheerleaders of the week, Week 7 of Operation Football. We'll see you out there on Friday night. Until then, we'll see you next week here on Op Football Preview. Have a good one.